pastor at the First Presbyterian Church of Kankakee, and we are so very excited because violinist Emily Nash and violist Bruno Silva are going to be performing here in our sanctuary at 7 o'clock on January 30th, 2016. We really hope that you'll be able to attend. We have tickets available, suggested donation of $12, but don't let that keep you away. We had an opportunity to go into their home and speak directly with Emily and Bruno about their history, about their music, about their passion, how they started with their instruments. This interview is contained in 3 clips. This is the first of the 3, and I hope you go and find the other 2 online so you can enjoy them. In our first clip, we talked about how each of them discovered music as young people and how it now has blossomed into what is a career of performance and teaching and master classes. I think you will find them every bit as engaging as I did. Please enjoy. I'm here with Bruno Silva, violist, and Emily Nash, violinist. We're going to be here at First Presbyterian Church of Kankakee on the 30th of January at 7 p.m. That's a Saturday. And we are absolutely delighted that they've agreed to come and perform a concert and to take some time to have a conversation with them in preparation for that concert. Bruno, Emily, great to see you and glad you're here. Emily is our violinist.
Yes.
And Bruno is violist.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, you from Connecticut, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How did you start with the violin?
I heard my friends playing at school when I was 6. And they were playing a duet, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I begged my parents to start lessons for a year before they actually let me start taking lessons. So I started when I was 7, and ever since then, I love the violin and I love to play.
How did you know when this was going to be what you wanted to do forever?
Just because I was so excited about it as a young kid, I just never thought about doing anything else. So that was that's why I made the decision.
Bruno, you are from Brazil, right?
Yes.
Whereabouts in Brazil?
Brasilia.
How did you start with the viola?
So I started going to that music school in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
and you start there usually with theory, music theory only. And then after a little while, I started trying to learn a little bit the guitar, but like nothing really serious. And then when I was 17 years old, I thought about picking up an instrument that was like the violin or like the cello, something in the middle. But I didn't know viola was an actual option. Yeah, in the middle. And then when they told me about the viola, and the name in Portuguese is the same for country music instrument. And I was like, I hate country music. I don't want to play this. So they told me like, no. It's like, it's in the middle. It's like the violin, but lower, like the cello, but higher. I was like, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. And then, but no country music, right? They're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. So I started when I was 17, which is kind of late for a musician, and I never thought I would be a professional, although I loved the instrument. And then I was going to law school, and I decided that I wanted to be a professional, even though, I started late. I was like, well, maybe I'll just do a few gigs, something small. I just loved it so much that I wanted to make it work somehow. I worked really hard at it, and here I am. I mean, it worked out.
How does one come all the way from Brasilia to Chicago? There had to have been some stops along the way. Tell me about it.
So I had a friend that was going to North Park University.
Mm-hmm.
She was studying with the violist of the Vermeer Quartet, who was going to Brazil for music festivals, and that's how she knew him. So she was going to that university, and then she told me about it. And I was interested in applying, so I did, and here I am.
I received a scholarship right here in Chicago.
Yes.
Where have you been since then?
So I went to DePaul University after North Park University, and during that time I was also, I had a fellowship with the Civic Orchestra of Chicago, so I stayed there for 2 years during that program. Then after that, I did come back as a sub, but...
We've actually been playing in Civic for 5 years total right now, even though it's a 2-year program. So we're just back there last week playing with the orchestra.
So Emily, I understand you were concertmaster with the Chicago Civic?
Yes, I was. So I played in the orchestra for a year, and then if you want to be a concertmaster or a section leader, principal, you have to audition again for that seat. The second year that I was in Civic, I was the associate concertmaster and then concertmaster, which was amazing. It was a great experience. And then, Yo-Yo Ma is also really involved in Civic now. And that year was when he kind of joined the orchestra and leading it, directing it into these directions that they're taking it now.
And you also were studied with the Silk Road Ensemble.
I did. They had a master class, so we were able to play with them and see them rehearse too, which is very cool.
Incredibly fun.
They're amazing. Yeah.
So she was concert master, and you were their principal.
I was a viola section. No.
In the viola section. So you had to take your pitch from her, your bowing from her. It was okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. You didn't come home and complain about the concertmaster.
No. Actually, I gave her directions. Like, this bowing is really bad. Can you change it for me? She's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's perfect. I love it.
And now you're currently principal violist with the
Skokie Valley Symphony, yeah. Right now I'm just a freelancer, just play in a lot of orchestras around the area. Something like 10 to 15 different orchestras, and just make up my schedule like that.
Emily, what's your schedule? Same number?
I don't know if it's 10 to 15, but it's something, maybe like 7 orchestras for me.
A lot of travel, right?
We do travel a lot, yes. This could be, sometimes it's really cool. Like I subbed with the New World Symphony, and so I got to go to Miami for a week, and that wasn't bad.
So what are some of the places that you performed together?
So the place that's farthest away from us right now is, we played in Italy together in a town called Orvieto. We were asked really, really last minute to play in this music festival. It's called Orvieto Music Festival. Like 2 weeks notice, because there was an illness and they needed people to fill in. And so we said, yeah, we'll go. And we were able to play. We played 3 chamber music concerts together, different programs, so it was very intense. It was 2 weeks long, so we just had about 4 days to get a program up and running. So it was a lot of work. We did 6 hours of rehearsal with the group every day, with the coach, and it was great. And the food was great. That was awesome.
Food was amazing, yeah.
And it's fun to meet new musicians.
Mm-hmm. We also got a chance to go to Florence during the weekend. Mm-hmm. Had some time off. That was fun.
Yeah, a little extra traveling.
Yeah.
When you perform, either one of you, when you perform, what do you want the audience to know, to feel, to experience? What do you hope happens to us while we listen to your music?
For me, when I'm a listener, I always like the performance the best if I know the performer is really enjoying and is dedicated into what they're doing. So hopefully we can come across that we're enjoying ourselves playing together. And it's very subjective. People can feel happiness or, sadness, I guess, or, thinking back on different memories. It could really be anything, and it's different for everyone.
Do you remember any particular concerts that you finished and thought, wow, this was just fantastic, this was great?
There's one that I remember very well, which was the first Civic concert.
Yeah.
That was amazing. We played Beethoven Fifth and the Firebird Suite. It was really
the orchestra rocked it.
Yeah. And we played a lot of those excerpts for auditions, especially Beethoven Fifth. And most of us already played Beethoven Fifth for a while, so we were very familiar with the piece. And it was the first time we were playing together. Yeah, it was incredible. It was one of the best experiences I've had with the Civic Orchestra.
For me, I was thinking back on when I played Scheherazade with Civic, and when I stood up to take my bow, because there was a lot of solo violin stuff in there. Then the whole, it was a packed house in Symphony Center, which is already wow. And everybody stood up and screamed, and I don't know, I felt overwhelmed with emotion or something. Maybe we can, I don't know, edit that out.
No, I think we're even going to leave the edit that out request. That's beautiful. Yeah. and now she's blushing. How long have you guys been together, not as musicians, but as a couple?
As a couple, it was pretty soon after we met. It was, I would say, November when we started Civic. So a couple months into Civic.
And you met in Civic Orchestra?
We met in the orchestra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a couple months later, we were a couple. And 2 years after that, we got married.
Yeah.
How does the music, you're both in the same career, you're both kind of looking for the same stuff. How does that work in your relationship?
I think it helps that we're not both violinists. And so the jobs, we don't compete against each other ever for a job. So I think it's nice that way. And we can just support each other taking all of our auditions or any performances coming up.
You can see how we discovered that both Emily and Bruno are wonderful people and how music has changed their lives. It even introduced them to each other, and now they're husband and wife. We're so excited that they're going to be with us at 7 o'clock on the 30th of January, and I hope that you can be with us too. This concludes the first section of 3 parts in the interview. Find parts 2 and 3. In part 2, we'll learn about the music that they will be performing for us on the 30th. And in part 3, we'll have an introduction to their instruments, their beauty, and their craftsmanship. Thank you for watching.